So if you take a look at my desktop here, you'll see that we quite literally have a brand new installation of Mac OS X Lion. But if you're on a newer version when you watch this, or an older version, it should be fine. Most of these apps will work across 10.6 through upwards of 10.9, presumably. So the first step is we just want to clean things up. And as a web developer or designer, you need to get rid of some of these apps on your dock. At one point, maybe it was kind of trendy to have all of the apps you own in the dock, but this really is not necessary, especially when factoring in apps like Alfred, which we will take a look at in a future lesson. So the first thing I'm going to do here is Mission Control. That's not something I need. The App Store, we can all bring that up with Alfred. I really want to get the dock down to as minimal as possible, the things that I use all the time. So we'll get rid of that. The dashboard, Mail. I personally use Gmail, so I don't need that, but if you do use that one, you might want to keep it on. Safari, I do keep my browsers in here because I reference them all the time. iChat, get rid of that, get all of these out. iTunes is one I do open frequently. Time Machine, System Preferences, and Terminal, we'll get rid of that as well. So now we've really minimized it down. I can also get rid of documents and downloads. It's even still a little big for me. So I'm going to go to Apple, Dock. First I'm going to turn hiding on, and that will hide it. But I also can view it by scrolling down to the bottom or pressing Control-Option-D, and that will toggle it. Next, I'm going to come back to the dock, and I'm going to go to the Preferences, and I'm going to bring the dock back with Command-Option-D, and I'm just going to bring it down just a little bit so it's more minimal. There we go, and that's looking good to me. The next step is I'm going to go into Macintosh HD, and there's a handful of files that will always be there. So for example, if I go into Users, my personal user account, we can get rid of these things like About Downloads and About Stacks. Now we could do the same thing with the Sites folder, and in fact I'm going to get rid of this Images file, but I do want you to note that there is an index.php file. Now what this will do is, it used to be something that said, hi, you're up and running, build your first website, but now it's simply going to echo PHP info, and if you're unfamiliar with that, that is a function that pretty much lists everything that your PHP installation has. Does it have MySQL support? Does it have PDO support? Things like that. So we're going to keep that in there because it's a good reference. In the next video, we're going to set up all of the browsers that we need.